watching Thrifty Kaniffy.
Hello everyone and welcome to Thrifty Kaniffy. Well, today I'm going to be looking at a brand of knives that I've never looked at before, so this ought to be fun. This is from Begg Knives. You get this black and white packaging with the B logo there. Now, Begg Knives has been around forever. They just haven't made slip joints forever. I think they just started their pre-production run about 6 months ago, and I started seeing some of them pop up, and then we've been waiting for them to come to retail. So now they're out, and they have a full lineup of slip joint knives, several different models, several different handle materials, or not materials, same material, but same handle styles, I shall say, and then also different knife sizes. So they've got like a mini version and then the regular. So these are from their Steelcraft series, which is their production series. This is their slogan: because life doesn't come pre-sliced. Begg Knives is 100% American family owned, headquartered in Petaluma, California, USA, BeggKnives.com. Now, it doesn't say anywhere on the box or the knife that these are made in China, but they definitely are made in China. It comes with a pouch, a little zipper pouch with the nice embroidered logo there. And you get a nice cleaning cloth, as well as some stickers, and this little maintenance guide and introduction to their knives. I want to read just a little bit of it for you because I think some of this is pertinent to what I was talking about. It says, for over a decade, Begg Knives has been making some of the highest quality custom knives in the world. We are a group of highly skilled craftsmen who take great pride in creating limited runs of knives that combine exotic materials, modern alloys, and precise machining into collectible works of art. We continue to push the bar and innovate to force into the future, consistently redefining what a knife can be. All right, so then about this particular series, it's enclosed is important information regarding your new Steelcraft series knife by Begg Knives. Steelcraft was created as our production series, so we could make our knives more accessible to a larger audience while still emphasizing on precision workmanship. Our Steelcraft series has been instrumental in shaping how production knives today are made, showcasing how our production knife can truly be a thing of excellence. So there's just sort of taking the concepts that they had from their other knives and introducing it into a more widely available production knife. So they've gone from customs to high quality production to more modern or mainstream production. So these slip joints kind of represent their budget line, I guess you could say. And they run about $55, like I said, on the larger knives, and I think about $45 for their smaller knives. So this would be one of their larger ones. This measures 4.06 inches closed. And I opted for the sheepsfoot blade. Now they offer this very same knife in a spear point blade, which I found to be quite attractive too. The only reason I didn't get it was because I kind of already have knives very similar to that, so I wanted something just a little different. And so I opted for this one. Now these come in 14C28. That's the steel they're offering here. This was designed by Jared von Otterloo. There's his logo there, JVO, with the V. You can see the nice flat grind on the blade. Crispy little edge there. And on this side, much the same, maybe a little heavier there. There's your nail nick and, of course, the Begg logo. So, yeah, they did a good job of the shape of the blade, I think. It's unique. It's got the sort of rounded belly there, but also got enough of a tip that I wouldn't really call this a sheep's foot. You know, when I think sheep's foot, I think of something like this. This would be an example of what I'd call a sheep or a ram's foot, right? More of that shape. But, hey, you guys call it whatever you like. They're the designers. They get to call it what they want. But in any case, I like the shape of the blade. Maybe just call it a modified sheep's blade, and then we're safe, right? But, again, 14C28 steel. So a little bit of an upgraded steel there. I like 14C28 for, you know, something that's not going to be super heavy use. It's, you know, it does a good job of retention enough for your everyday tasks, things like that. And I find it easy to sharpen easy to maintain. So for those reasons, I really like it. Let's talk a little bit more about the handle. This is G10, and you can see the nice grain in there. And we've got a stainless shield. The shield, I think, maybe is a touch large for the knife. And it's kind of interesting that they included it on both sides. So that's a nice, interesting design choice. And they've done a really good job of smoothing things over. The only rough edges I could really find, I mean, I've checked all the way around. You have really nice smooth pins, transitions. You have a single threaded bolster that you can obviously feel. But, they've done a really good job on that as well. A little bit edgy right across the back part of the interior liners there. And that's about it. That's really about the only little rough spot I was able to find. Build quality really good. You get the stainless liners there. And you can see it's nice and tight. Spring, very smooth in the closed position. If we open it up, kind of check it again. Again, very smooth all the way across, and the open position as well. Fills the hand. I think this is a nice size body, right in that range where you can really get a strong grip on the knife, and 4-finger grip for sure. Sort of a natural resting place for your hand right here for that 4-finger. That's kind of where it wants to ride. And then you got a nice spot for your thumb up here on the bolster. So a very comfortable knife in the hand, and I like the blade shape. I like the body shape. Everything feels good. You can really get a very hard grip on the knife if you needed to. Nice flat grind on that. And the grind lines are pretty nice as well. Satin finish on the blade, so not super fingerprinty magnet type style, but you can kind of get your fingerprints on there. But very nicely done, very well executed. And I think for, a knife company that is just now introducing their first series of knives, they did a fantastic job with the overall design concept and the quality of the knives. So it didn't look like they were in any rush to put them out. They wanted to be sure that they were ready to go. You can see that blade's well centered right down the middle. And the blade stock is pretty phenomenal. And one thing that you'll notice about this knife, I didn't even mention, is no swedging. So nice to see, a blade like this without the swedging. Just a nice flat grind. Didn't have to do anything peculiar to it. Nail neck, kind of plain. Maybe like to see a long pull on there instead. Always just been a fan of the long pull. Nothing wrong with that one. I mean, you really don't even need it, honestly. You just kind of pinch grip it. Open it up. But I'd say about 5.5, 6 on the pull. Would have liked to seen that be a little more firm on the final 90 degrees. Not that particularly difficult to push that out of position with your thumb. I mean, I'm doing it slow just so I don't cut myself, but I mean, I could easily push that up. So maybe just a little more tension, especially on that last 90 degrees. I know what you're going for there. You want to be able to get people to open that. But as I've said, even with like Victorinox knives, that first 90 degrees is nice and simple to move. You get about here, it starts to get really firm, and then it really clicks into place. So if anybody can figure out how to, reverse engineer whatever the heck Victorinox is doing, they need to maybe take a look at that. Because that, to me, they are the premier company for doing it right. But in any case, I still think it's, a confident user. I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue. Just need to be, maybe perhaps just a little more careful with doing something to hit that spine and knock it closed. Got the half stop to save you there, but you would just like to see that there's a little more firmness in that last 90 degrees. So that's really my only complaint among slip joint owners. I've seen just enough knives to kind of get a feel for what will close down on you, what won't, and this is kind of just that borderline thing. Larger knives, I just feel like need to have a little more lockup. You can get away with that on a smaller knife, But once you get into these larger knives, you got basically a larger lever. If we're talking like physics, and a lever, and with the pivot being the fulcrum and the resistance being the spring, you need a little more load, so you don't as easily push that upward. So if you guys like physics, there's a little physics lesson for you from the old TKster, but you're not going to learn too much more about any kind of math from this guy. But yeah, I just feel like larger the knife, the more tension you need on that spring. But pretty good dang knife, I'd have to say. And at $53, I really just have to kind of, or $55, have to kind of say that inflation has really kind of caught up with the channel. It's just really getting tougher and tougher to find a really high quality knife for under the $50 mark. So I may even have to raise that up just to accommodate more reviews with the red logo. You know that the $50 knife and above ones start getting into the premiums. Well, it's getting harder and harder to find knives, honestly, from new manufacturers, especially under that $50 mark. Now, we still have the Rough Rider brand, but they are usually more proficient during their early part of the year than they have been in the past, and they haven't really been this year. So I don't know if seems like we're waiting a long time for releases from Rough Rider, just their standard series. So I'd like to see some more stuff come out from them so I can show you some more of the budget stuff, but I can only show you what they make. So hopefully you enjoyed this review. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell to be made aware of videos when they drop. We'll see you guys next time. Take care.